Hi, today I wanted to share my thoughts on this little device, the Valkyrie Compensator for the Beretta 3032 Tomcat. I didn't see any YouTube videos sharing experience with it besides the creator, so I thought I'd share my thoughts on it from the year I've had it and answer some questions I myself had. Keep in mind, the fact that I bought this over a year ago could also mean thoughts here may not reflect on current or future iterations of this. If you're interested in the gun itself, I should be posting a video shortly talking about this little project as a whole. What is it? It's a compensator and rail mount that are designed to fit a 3032 Tomcat with a threaded barrel. It's made by Griffith Guns, who does a lot of cool and very clever things with Beretta 92s. But unfortunately no, this won't work on a 30X as the frame width is different and the mount uses a tight fit with the frame to help keep it in place. You can watch the creator explain the way it works much better than I can. I'll link to that in the description. But to keep it short, the compensator threads on almost all the way. The rail attachment is pushed over the sides of the barrel pin as the frame widens, and a set screw is tightened to keep the two together. From my understanding, the rail attachment should be somewhat snug before it's even tightened with the set screw to prevent the rail from shaking off. Some Loctite is probably warranted for extra security with long-term usage. With just the compensator and rail, there's no issues ejecting a dud or inserting a round by using the tip-up feature, but a light, such as the Olight PL Mini that's recommended, can stop the barrel from clearing the slide if you mount it too far back. It also robs the system of energy, so you probably can't utilize the barrel springing up to eject a round. The most common failure I've run into on Tomcats I've owned has been failure to feed from the magazine, not failure to fire, but it's good to keep these things in mind. You can run other lights provided they fit, but I would recommend something small and lightweight like the Mini. The whole package with the light does a decent job at reducing recoil. If I had to put numbers on it, with the hotter ammo is feeling 50% less recoil, and for the weaker ammo I would call it 30% less recoil. I tried to take comparative videos with as limp of a wrist as I could to demonstrate this, but it's definitely not a scientific test. The videos are in order: no compensator, then just the compensator and rail, then the system with the light added. The camera shifted during filming, so the angle changes a bit between the three clips. The hotter ammo I'm referring to is Sayé and below at an advertised 176 foot-pounds, which exceeds the Beretta recommended limit of 130 foot-pounds of energy for the Tomcat, and it's about as hot as commercial 32 ACP ammo gets, aside from some Underwood loadings that I can't seem to find anymore. The weaker ammo I used was PPU, or Pervy Partisan, which is stated on the box to be about 128 foot-pounds, so pretty average when it comes to 32 ACP. Firing it, I definitely did notice a louder report, and of course a more visible muzzle flash, but it's far from disorienting or concussive. Now, will this lower slide velocity enough to induce malfunctions? Well, over 200 rounds of hot ammo and 100 rounds of weaker ammo, I didn't have any malfunctions, related to the cycling of the slide at least. But will the lower slide velocity prevent a Tomcat from developing the crack in the frame, or at least increase the round count until the crack develops? Well, with a sample size of one Tomcat and only 300 rounds of testing, I can't say anything other than maybe, and that I wouldn't count on it preventing that. I'd love to give you a concrete answer, but I don't have it in the budget to purchase a dozen Tomcats and several thousand rounds of 32 ACP to really test this theory. Something else of note is that this was manually machined, and the maker moved to CNC machining shortly after mine was made. Now, this will make the Tomcat closer in size to some micro compacts than what I would consider a pocket gun. This will make finding holsters a challenge. You may have difficulty finding an inside the waistband pocket or ankle holster that fits this, and have to resort to something like a clip draw, making or having someone make a custom holster for you, or using something similar to what I'm using here. A smart carry. I do have a video in the works about smart carry holsters. I've always made it clear to people that ask me that I personally don't recommend the Tomcat as a carry gun. But would I recommend it alongside this compensator? I'd still have to say no. There are plenty of alternatives I would recommend over it, and it would likely be more worth it to put your money into a different small gun. But would I recommend this if you already carry a Tomcat and have no issues with it? Probably. So to conclude, I think this is a really neat accessory to the Tomcat and does add some nice utility. I don't really have a number system for rating accessories, but I'll just say I quite like it, and it turns the Tomcat from a pistol I consider a 1.5 out of 5 to a solid 3 out of 5. If you want to hear more about my love-hate relationship with the Tomcat, or about this enhanced Tomcat, I'll be posting a video about that to this channel shortly.